Peace, love, knowledge, and freedom, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Just Seen podcast, specifically Frail Conversations. And today, as you've seen from the title, we could be talking about gorillas and motherfuckers fighting gorillas and shit. Hey, yo, I ain't even gonna hold you. I didn't want to get in this. I didn't want to get into this conversation to get on this debate, or whatever the case may be, because it's stupid. It's futile to me. But at the same time, I needed a Frail Conversations because it was supposed to drop on Saturday, but I laid my aunt to rest, one of my aunts to rest, or whatever the case may be. Well, I didn't, but she was laid to rest, and so I just wasn't able to actually make a podcast episode. Yeah, I'm still in the grieving process, and whatnot. But at the same time, business don't stop, things don't stop. So with all that was going around, hosting, family functions or whatever the case may be, and just being around, the family and everything, I didn't get around to it. So I still don't necessarily have an episode, but I like to keep things where they're supposed to be. So I have to do this Frail Conversations before I drop the Law of Transmutable Energy and then the next episode after that. But I wanted to talk about this conversation because it's like, since it started, motherfuckers have been sending me shit like, yo, do you think? No, nigga, I don't think 100 niggas can take on a gorilla. You feel me? I don't. It's just not possible. But it's something that I feel like personally it's a distraction because it happened too fast and it's too stupid. It's too pointless. You feel me? But simultaneously, while they're doing the, 100 gorillas and shit, the 100 men fighting a gorilla, while they're doing that whole spiel, there's simultaneously, a lot of the shit the Republicans or whatever do in America and then all this other shit. But I just kind of needed an episode. So this is what y'all about to get. Y'all about to get me talking about motherfucking 100 men fighting a gorilla, right? There's layers to the arrogance it takes to feel like you can take on a gorilla, right? But as I was explaining to somebody, I was like, this is the effects of integration. My nigga, like, I don't think people understand what it is. Like, because to even conceptualize and even have the gumption to look and say, you know what? I think we can take 100 gorillas. That has a colonial mentality to it. That has a genocidal mentality to it. That has a very destructive mentality to it. You feel me? I've seen so many different posts regarding it, and I feel like all of those are going to tie into this episode in some way, shape, or form. So I can just, let it flow and talk about it. Again, me personally, ain't no way no 100 motherfuckers is beating a gorilla, right? No motherfuckers is beating a gorilla just off the strength that it's a gorilla, bro. Like, and I think when we're looking at it, people are seeing it from the perspective of, it's strength in numbers, strength in numbers don't matter. Scientifically, biologically, everything. Motherfuckers ain't beating no fucking gorilla, bro. And I'm going to go through the whole everything. I'm just going to let it flow. And we're going to really break down why that's not the case. Just to start it off, I'm going to go ahead and put the science to it early so we can go ahead and get this shit out of the way. A gorilla. A motherfucking gorilla. We're just going to use the basis of the weakest gorilla, right? The weakest gorilla in a single punch can exert 1,300 pounds of force. 1,300 pounds of force. Let me put that into perspective for y'all, just so y'all can really understand what it is that I'm saying when I say that. A human jaw only requires 200 to 250 pounds of force to break it. A human jaw only requires 200 to 250 pounds of force to break it. We're going to use the weakest gorilla at 1,300 based off the human jaw of 250. The only reason why I'm using the human jaw is because pretty much the bones as a whole pretty much operate under the same tension and force, right? But 250 pounds of force, right? We're going to use the high end of that. We'll say we got the strongest man compared to the weakest gorilla, right? I've never had my jaw broken. Never had my jaw broken. But I've been punched in the mouth. I've been punched in the mouth by motherfuckers that was bigger than me. Y'all know the stories as I told them. When I fought as a kid, still now, I like to fight bigger shit. I like to fight bigger shit. And that's probably why motherfuckers was asking me what I take on how I felt about a gorilla shit. No, nigga. Fuck no, that's a gorilla. But as a kid, I always fought bigger shit, and I got hit by a motherfucker who was significantly bigger than me. You feel me? The hardest hit I've ever taken in my life was by one of my homies when we was young. His name is 8 Ball. I had, at the time, I think I was like 11 maybe. So I was in like the 6th or 7th grade. Or maybe 8th. I don't know. But it was definitely like the 6th grade. 6th or 7th grade. 6th grade. Because by the 7th grade, I wasn't fucking with one of my homies that I was fucking with at the time. I'm just putting in timelines. But this motherfucker hit me so hard that it dazed me. And when I say this motherfucker was strong, he wasn't just a fat motherfucker. Like, this nigga was solid. Like, this nigga was solid fat. Like, he was big and he was strong. He'll put you in mind of Mark Henry. So at 11 years old, I probably wasn't over 110, 115 pounds. This motherfucker was already pushing 2-something. Easily. Like, he had to be well over 250, 300 pounds. He was a big kid. And that motherfucker hit me. Right? Didn't daze me, didn't stun me, didn't knock me off my feet. Well, he stunned me a little bit, but he ain't knocked me off my feet. But the motherfucker hit me hard. You feel me? And he slammed me. He picked me up and slammed me, the first half of the fight. And I was like, yeah, this nigga can't slam me again. He just laid on me, just hit me in the head. I was like, God damn, nigga, we got to square up again, bro. You ain't about to, you know what I'm saying? Now, when we squared up again, he ain't get to slam again. And, had to let these hands light him up. But I'm speaking solely from the first part of that fight. You feel me? That motherfucker hit me hard as shit. And he didn't hit me anywhere near the capacity to break my jaw. He didn't hit me anywhere near the capacity to break my jaw. But that hit stunned me. If my jaw didn't break when I got hit in the face, when I got hit in the mouth, or whatever the case may be, that means he didn't exert the 250 pounds of force to break my shit. You feel me? Now, if he didn't exert the 250 pounds of force, that equally means that there's no way he would have exerted 1,300 pounds of force, which is the amount of force that a gorilla has in a single punch, my nigga. A single fucking punch. So that made me realize that motherfuckers is delusional, for one. And for two, motherfuckers ain't never been in a fight for real. And for three, motherfuckers are locked into believing that there's safety in numbers. But there's not safety in numbers when motherfuckers can't fight either way. There's not safety in numbers when motherfuckers don't have the power. And there's definitely not going to be safeties in numbers when 100 motherfuckers are going against a gorilla. But before we dive heavy into that, be sure to follow me on Instagram at Seen It All. Oh yeah, I changed the name from Seen the Light to Seen It All. I ain't really like how Seen It All was playing out. Seen the Light was playing out. Like, it was kind of pretentious. I posted this on social media. It was kind of pretentious. Like, yeah, I'm the light, but nigga, I'm also the darkness too. Like, you feel me? So I don't, and you feel me? Motherfuckers is, oh, how dare you talk like that if you're, and you got the nerve to have the light in your name? Cause bitch, light doesn't, you feel me? That's a whole nother conversation that's going to take this intro a little bit longer than it need to be. So I'm not going to say that. But yeah, the new page is now changed to Seen It All. You feel me? CINEITAL. And I like how that flows better when I'm saying it. So run it back. Before we get started, be sure to follow me on Instagram at Seen It All. Be sure to check out my website at IamJustSeen.com to get all things that are just seen. To all those who tip, donate, and sponsor to the podcast, you are greatly appreciated. To all those who would like to tip, donate, and sponsor to the podcast, you can do so by clicking the link in the description of the podcast. Not the episode, but the podcast itself. And as always, you know the vibes. Cash App and PayPal are just fine. And you know the vibes, that's that for this and that's this for that. So we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to dive into So Frail Conversations, gorilla fights. And don't forget to visit IamJustSeen.com. There, you can get all things Just Seen. You want to add the So Frail series to your library? Visit IamJustSeen.com. You want to learn how to master the markets for serious trading and investing? Visit IamJustSeen.com. You want to get your hands on some exclusive merch like tees, hoodies, coffee mugs, hats, bags? Visit IamJustSeen.com. Are you thinking about transitioning into the plant-based lifestyle?
visit IamJustScene.com. You ever want to just chat with Scene about anything from simple advice to mentorship? Visit IamJustScene.com. Anything and everything that is me, you can find at IamJustScene.com. So take a quick peek into my world to see why being just seen is nothing less but always more. Because you never really know what you need until you see it, and you will never see it unless you visit IamJustScene.com.
All right. Welcome back. Ow. And without further ado, we just gonna dive heavy into this because I feel the flow coming. Now. All right, so taking it back, picking up. My man's hit me hard as fuck, bro. It didn't take me off my feet or whatever, but the motherfucker hit me hard as fuck. And that was the hardest I've ever been hit in my life. And I was able to take it. But again, because my jaw didn't break, and maybe he didn't hit you with the right angle. Nigga, no. Fuck that. The force didn't break shit in my face. Not a single bone in my face was broken. It wasn't fractured, none of that shit. But he hit me hard as fuck. I've never been hit that hard before. You feel me? Even the motherfucker, and it's crazy because he didn't draw blood, but even the motherfucker that hit me in my mouth that drew blood didn't hit me as hard as him. You feel me? And that was another homie, it's like, why you got all these fades with your homies and shit? Cuz, nigga, that's what happens in the hood. There comes a time when you ain't homies at the time when y'all scrap, but then y'all become homies again and y'all was homies before. So it's stupid shit like that. But when that hit happened, it kind of just put me into, like, damn, nigga, don't you ever let a nigga hit you first again. Like, that was something that I used to do as a kid, like, and like, you know what I'm saying? Because my mama always, instilled in me, don't start the fight, but end it. So I was always on some hit me first and I'm gonna fuck you up. I never let a nigga hit me first again. Ever, bro. On my mama, I never let a nigga hit me first again. Like, for real, nigga, fuck all that. But I said all that to set the tone of, as strong as he was, he didn't break me. He didn't break shit in me. So we had this conversation where motherfuckers saying 100 men could take on a fucking silverback gorilla. And I'm only using the weakest because, like I said, when we're using these numbers right here, 1,300 pounds of force is a single punch. And I'm using the weakest gorilla because the actual range is, like 1,300 pounds to 2,700 pounds? Nigga, do you see how wide that gap is? Force is some shit. Like, when you study physics and shit and you study physics of force, like, force is a lot. So for that jump, for there to be a range in force of 1,400 pounds, nigga, that's different. That's different as fuck. So with that, another stat that, the average gorilla is capable of doing is bench pressing 6,000 pounds, 4,000 to 6,000 pounds, my nigga. Again, we'll use the low end of that shit, 4,000 pounds. You feel me? The world's strongest man, if I'm not mistaken, the record for the strongest bench press was 1,085. So we'll say 1,100. 1,100 pounds on a bench press. The average, that's one nigga. The world record belongs to one motherfucker, bro. Like, it's not no average. There's one motherfucker who has bench pressed that record. Who knows? It could be over that. I'm just speaking on the last number that I could recall was 1,085 pounds. That's 1,100 pounds, bro. That one single motherfucker, but you mean to tell me the average gorilla, silverback gorilla, can bench between 4,000 and 6,000 pounds equivalent. So we just gonna leave that at 4,000. And that's the weakest. The weakest average can bench 4,000 fucking pounds. One motherfucker has a record as a human for benching 1,100 pounds. You feel me? Like, this is where I like this conversation, because this is where masculinity comes in, because this is going to be all about analysis and deconstruction, my nigga. I'm going to analyze and deconstruct this whole scenario and say, nigga, you are not beating a motherfucking gorilla, dog. I don't care how many motherfuckers it is. And I'm saying that because that one motherfucker sets the record. So they was talking about putting like Mike Tyson in it in his prime, motherfucking George Foreman in his prime. They was talking about like I was like, these niggas they don't hold the record. Like, if you give me all of these top athletes, give me 100 of the top athletes, because that's the only motherfuckers that can fight them. Those are the only motherfuckers that can fight, because they're the warriors. You feel me? They're of the warrior class. We have to look at it from that perspective too. Our warrior class has been shifted and reduced to athletes. They don't go to war. You got motherfuckers in war that are soldiers that could just shoot. They're not warriors though. They're just motherfuckers who wanted a charger. They're motherfuckers who wanted free education. They're not warriors, bro. The real physical warriors, the ones that are actually built for war and built to be warriors, they're in sports. You know, they're in sports. So if we take 100 of these motherfuckers, LeBron, fucking Mike Vick, Donovan McNabb, Warren Sapp, motherfucking, you got to take the motherfuckers you know can push a line. You feel me? I was watching Sports Science, and they said the average linebacker, we can use linebackers for this, the average linebacker off the line, when they say, hey, they can exert a force of 650 pounds. Off the line, they can exert a force of 650 pounds, bro. We can round that to 7. Nigga, you can exert a force 700 pounds. That still don't even equate to 4,000, nigga, in any way, shape, or form. Why is this even a conversation, bro? But it's a conversation because if we put that shit into comparison, they're like, well, what if all 20 rush? If we have 100, you know, some of them ain't gonna make it, but if we all rush at the same time, we can get the gorilla. No, you won't. I don't think people, because, and this is how I know when niggas have not been in a fight, especially been in a fight where there was multiple people on one. Maybe the Drake shit got to the hell. This is 20v1. No, nigga, this ain't rap. This ain't lyrics, nigga. This is physical getting down, bro. Like, you have to have ran fades. You have had to have gotten jumped, and you have had to jump people to know what the fuck this shit really means. You feel what I'm saying? When the first nigga gets beat the fuck up, the morale is gone. You feel me? I've been in situations where it was like, luckily my homies was there. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't get jumped. But there's a situation where I was supposed to. You feel me? And I was mentioning this in the previous podcast episode where I was like, I was waiting for my chance to get jumped. Maybe I got absolved because my homies protected me and shit. But, you know, shit like that. But once that first motherfucker, who's like, usually the first motherfucker to run up is usually the strongest. You feel me? In X-Men, when I forgot which one it was, but Magneto said, in chess, the pawns go first. So even if we talk about the first 20 motherfuckers or the first wave of niggas that's going first and shit, like, nigga, y'all are the pawns. Y'all are not gonna be a factor. In fact, y'all are going to be the ones that shift the gorilla from chilling, eating bamboo, to being in fight or flight response. Oh, nigga, this is a threat now. Oh, I'm turning this shit up. I'm turning this shit the fuck up. Let's go. Let's motherfucking go. So the gorilla, right? And we're using the weakest gorilla. I'm not even going to use the highest average. It's because it's not fair. You feel me? But I'm trying to make it as fair as possible. But tying it back to my homie that hit me in the face, that didn't break my shit. He didn't exert, because he didn't break my shit, there's no way that he exerted 250 pounds of pressure anywhere in that space, because if it takes 200 to 250 to break, that means any force that he put on me was less than 200. And at maximum, it could have been 199, but 200 is the actual tensile force that will actually start the range of breaking it. So he didn't even hit me with that. A gorilla, my nigga, is going to hit you in a single punch with 1,300 pounds of fucking force. Nigga, chest getting caved in, jaws getting broken, shit's getting rearranged off the first wave of niggas. And I think people are looking at this fight as a squabble. Like, nigga, we gonna square up. It's gonna be a friendly fade, one-on-one. No, nigga, you're fighting an animal who's now in a space where I have to survive. I don't have a tranquilizer. There's no tranquilizers on me. There's none of that shit. We're going to squabble. Ain't no squaring up in the animal kingdom. Ain't no, you know what I'm saying? We just gonna throw hands and box. No, nigga, we're using everything we have to get away from the situation. You feel what I'm saying? That 1,300, now let's look at it from that perspective. If we're looking at just the 250, right? What is it? 250 times 5 will put you at what, 1,250? Yeah. So it's already over 5. The strength of a gorilla is already over 5 times the strength it takes to break a jaw. Ideally break a bone. When this gorilla hits the first motherfucker, morale is gone. The morale of a motherfucker is gone. By the time we get to the end of this lesson, it's a lesson. By the time we get to the end of this podcast episode, there's going to be a lesson that's going to be taught. You feel me? It's going to be deep. But 5 times a weak gorilla has 5 times, over 5 times the strength of what it takes to break a bone, to break a jaw. And it does that in a single punch. A single punch. This not even counting the 2-piece. I'm at, like, again, because I know motherfuckers, I can tell motherfuckers ain't never really been in a fight. That second hit after the 2-piece is usually has a lot more, it has a lot more impact than the first hit. The first hit, you feel me? If you fight, you know what I'm saying? Or even if you box, you know, that first hit is usually just the playful hit. That ain't the haymaker. That ain't the lay your ass down. That's the motherfucking, let me see which way, let me see if you're going to dodge the second one. Let me see if you're built to take the second one. That second hit. So let's just say the motherfucker is going to squabble. It's going to be we just throw these hands up. And that motherfucker hit you with that first hit and that's 1,300 pounds. And what you think the follow-up is going to be? In that 2-piece, you back to back going to get hit with a force of 1,300. Then you're going to get caught with another force of maybe 2 to fucking 3. 2 to 3,000 pounds of force right after that. Nah, we ain't gonna jump to 3 because we said it's 1,300 to 2,700. So that first punch, you gonna catch that 1,300 because that's just nigga. Boom. Now I'm gonna catch you with the follow up. When I catch you with that follow up, it's gonna automatically the punch force is now gonna go from 1,300. We'll say up to 1,800. We'll just keep it like that because we use the 2,700. That's what that 2-piece is gonna get you back to back. Ain't nobody surviving that first hit. Now, because I said the reason why I use the multiplier of 5, because when that first nigga get hit, he's getting hit into some motherfuckers. He's gonna die. He's gonna die as he get hit into some motherfuckers, bro. Now, imagine that. If, now let's use Newton's law of motion. Object in motion stays in motion till another force is acted upon it. The first initial force that catalyzes this nigga getting hit is gonna knock him. So imagine that. If you've ever caught a weighted sandbag, or if you had because I used to have this training vest that I used to use. It was 20 pounds. And I used to throw it in the air and I used to catch medicine balls, nigga. Imagine you throwing a 50 kilogram or 50 pound. That's not 50 kilograms, 50 pounds ain't the same. But let's use pounds because this is America and shit. You throwing a 50-pound medicine ball in the air, right? Now, when you catch it, right, you catch that medicine ball. It stumbles you back. You got to get your bearing straight. Imagine, because if we're using men, we're going to use the average man. 225. You 6'2", 225. Because these are the warrior. This is the average warrior. This is what we're going to consider the average athlete. And now we're lumping in all athletes. Football, basketball, soccer, hockey, all of this shit. Average athlete is like about 6'1", 225 maybe. You feel me? Now this includes basketball, football at 6'1", 225. We'll give them that. The 1,300 pounds of force, followed by the 18, is going to knock the average 225. Now, you struggle with a 50-pound medicine ball. You're now having to catch a 225-pound body that is moving from being pushed at a force of 1,300. This is where physics comes in. This is where analysis and deconstruction comes in. Mathematics, the numbers don't lie. The mathematics is precise. So the first motherfucker that's like, yeah, nigga, I'm gonna run up on this motherfucker and I'm gonna get his ass. Boom. Gorilla 2-piece his ass, right? When the gorilla 2-piece his motherfucking ass, he's gonna 2-piece him into another motherfucker. Another motherfucker that's not gonna be braced. I don't give a fuck how strong of an athlete he is. He's not gonna be braced to catch 225 pounds of a human body moving towards him, coming off of being punched at a force of 1,800, 13 to 1,800 pounds. It's gonna feel like the nigga getting hit by a car. I was watching Dragon Ball Z. This is relevant, but it ain't relevant, but it is. You feel me? And this was during the Tournament of Power. Vegeta, man, he my nigga, bro. I fucks with Vegeta. I ain't even gonna hold you. I fucks with Vegeta. When he was fighting Jiren beat this motherfucker so bad that he beat the Saiyan. Like Vegeta had achieved the new Super Saiyan Blue level. I think they was calling it Super Saiyan Blue Mageddon or some shit. I just called the shit Super Saiyan 2 Blue. You feel me? Because he just went to the next level. You know what I'm saying? The hair did the same shit that he would have done in Super Saiyan 2, but it was blue. So I called it Super Saiyan Blue 2. Whatever. Jiren beat that shit out of that nigga. Now, let me tell you how much power, and I'm using this, it's going to get back to this thing. And because this is a cartoon, but somehow it's going to be, it's going to play it, it's going to show its relevance. Jiren beat Super Saiyan Blue 2 out of this nigga and beat Vegeta back to base form. The reason why I'm saying it this way, and this is important, right? Vegeta has Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan... He has Majin Vegeta, that form. He has Super Saiyan 3, he just doesn't use it because it drains too much stamina. He has Super Saiyan God, which is the red. So then Super Saiyan God, then he has Super Saiyan Blue, which is another God key that is a little bit stronger. And then he has Super Saiyan Blue 2 when he fights Jiren. I'm not even going to get into Ultra Ego because Ultra Ego probably would have faded Jiren. But Jiren beat the Super Saiyan 2 out of that nigga and back down to base form. That means he beat this nigga from Super Saiyan Blue 2, to Super Saiyan Blue, to Super Saiyan God, to Super Saiyan 3, to Super Saiyan, to Majin Vegeta, to Super Saiyan 2, to Super Saiyan, back to the base form. Vegeta said, his punches feel like a train is hitting me. He was still standing, still trying to brace it, but that is to put the impact on it. He said, the punches feel like a train is hitting me. And I get it. Nigga, a gorilla ain't gonna hit a motherfucker like Jiren. That's a cartoon. I know. This is the point that I'm trying to make. Because y'all niggas is living in the fantasy, so I gotta use some fantastic shit. That first nigga that get hit is going to feel like he got hit by a fucking train. Maybe even a car. Nigga. When that first motherfucker get hit, he's gonna get hit by the force of a car that's going to knock him into another motherfucker that has to catch a 225 pound body. If you're throwing a weighted ball that's about 50 pounds, you know how it braces you. You got to catch that shit. It makes you stumble back. You got to 225 pounds is roughly about 5 times the pound of a medicine ball. So you're now catching a human body that is coming from a force that is now 10 times what it would be if you caught a medicine ball. I'm doing my dramatic pauses to let you motherfuckers breathe. Let you motherfuckers think about what the fuck you're saying. This is just the first wave of niggas. Morale is gone. Morale is gone. And the reason why I use this with the tournament of power and shit, because everybody from the gods to the angels, everybody said once Jiren and Goku fight and it establishes, because those were number 1 and number 2 until they fought, then Jiren just completely, I had seen his post and was like, he was talking about Majin Buu and Jiren. He said the only reason why Jiren lost was because of plot. Jiren didn't lose because the niggas were stronger than him. Jiren didn't lose because these motherfuckers had gone to a level beyond him. No, he lost solely because of plot. That's it. Because Goku had to win. Because the Z Fighters had to win. Because it's Dragon Ball Z. It ain't Dragon Ball Jiren. If it was Dragon Ball Jiren, it wouldn't even have been close. But in the fight, there was like, once these two fight, everybody else is going to fall by the wayside. Because whoever wins, they already know they can't beat the other one. So they're not even going to try to beat. It's going to take the morale out of the fighters. And the moment in this tournament of power, the moment these motherfuckers started scrapping, everybody stopped to watch. Everybody stopped to watch. Translate that to real time. When you 100 niggas see the first 5 to 20 motherfuckers run up to that gorilla, you're going to see what's going to happen first. It is natural human response. Because you're already in a space of when you are in fight or flight response, you don't think anymore. You only have the ability to react. You don't have the ability to think and analyze. That shit has to be done so far ahead of time that your body is now in a position to where you don't have to think about it. We're talking about athletes here. We're not even talking about your average motherfuckers that can't run a mile. We're not talking about y'all. Y'all aren't in this 100. Y'all aren't even a factor in the 100. But when we put that into perspective, I'm going to add another tidbit into this shit. You feel me? The men who sucked as athletes and became women just to go fight women and still got beat up, you motherfuckers wouldn't even qualify. But that's the thing about it. We're dealing with people who would rather than train their bodies and actually make them stronger, they just go down towards the weaker fight or the weaker competition. I'm not calling women weak, but women are weaker than men. It is what it is. You feel me? It's just what it is. Even Serena Williams said, I will not play a man in tennis. The fuck? And she's Serena fucking Williams. You feel me? Athletes know this shit. Real humans with thought processes know this shit. But average motherfucker don't. And the reason why I added that into it is because these are men who we're using actual men who train, who actually go beyond their limitations, who actually push themselves to be deeper, who actually push themselves to be motherfucking stronger, right? That's who we're actually dealing with right now. We're not dealing with you other goofy motherfuckers. We're just not. But all of that was to say, when this shit actually pops off, the morale is going to be gone. When that gorilla throws a fucking 225-pound man into another man and he can't catch him, all the spectators watching are now going to say, if they can't beat him, neither can I. The morale, the confidence, all of that shit goes out of the window. That's just with a two-piece, my nigga. A gorilla ain't going to fight you like a boxer. A gorilla ain't gonna fight you like a street fighter. A gorilla's gonna fight you like a motherfucking gorilla. These motherfuckers are going to be ripping bodies apart. These motherfuckers are gonna be biting shit. These motherfuckers are gonna be throwing fucking bodies. If they can punch at 1,300 pounds and if they can bench press 4,000, what you think is gonna happen when they grab you and throw you? If we looking at from the 225-pound motherfucker being punched into another motherfucker, imagine what happens when a gorilla throw you into a motherfucker. I'm not even talking about gorillas right now when I say this. There was a chimpanzee that was 14 years old that ripped a woman's face off. Ripped a woman's face off. A chimpanzee. A chimpanzee does not even have nowhere near the strength of a fucking gorilla. But it ripped a woman's face off. I think it was like on Dateline NBC or 2020 or some shit. It was one of them shows a while back. You can look it up. The chimp, and they, put the chimp down. Ugh. Why the fuck did she have a chimpanzee as a fucking pet? It was 14. It shouldn't have turned on it. It's a fucking chimpanzee. The fuck? It ripped her fucking face off. What does it take to rip somebody's face off, my nigga? Skin is relatively tight. That mean that motherfucker had to have a grip at some point to pull her fucking face off, my nigga. What do you think that gorilla's gonna do when it gets a hold of you? If a chimpanzee can pull a face off, what happens when the gorilla grabs a grown-ass fucking man and throws him? I'm just putting shit in perspective. This is analysis and deconstruction. This is masculinity at its motherfucking finest. You niggas is emotional. Like, I feel like we can take a motherfucking gorilla. No, you can't. We haven't even added the other 80 motherfuckers that could potentially help because their morale is gone. If we all jump them at one particular time, no, because now you send the gorilla into a different mode, a mode that you're not in, a mode that when one false move happens, you motherfuckers lose your morale. The gorilla has no morale to lose. I seen one video, white dude talking about he put a gorilla down with his bare hands by himself. Nigga, no. I don't give a fuck how serious you try to look on this fucking video. You did not put down a gorilla by yourself. And you Caucasian too? Nah, you would have recorded that. You would have tried to have some kind of documentation. It's like, oh, it's easier than you think. No, it's not easier than you think, nigga. The problem is y'all think it's easier than you think. No, you not beating no motherfucking gorilla, bro. Who the fuck made these motherfuckers, bro? And this is when it segues into, and I'm glad I used the white dude and I talked about this because this is how white supremacy works. This is how colonialism worked. This is how it works. This is how and why they came over and conquered people. Because if we understand, y'all like how I did that shit. if we understand why religion was put on black people before them being conquered, was because they needed to kill the morale that could not be killed. When a gorilla is approached by a human, a gorilla does not have a fear of the human. Why would it? Why should it? Pound for pound, I'd fuck you up. All my kids, I'll sock you niggas up. You feel me? I was watching Nat Geo, and I seen a gorilla beat a gorilla flat. When I say beat the gorilla flat, like the motherfucker was doing Hulk smashes on this nigga. Boom. Until the body went flat. Here's why that's important. Gorillas are thick as fuck. The bitch looked like a rug when it was done. It was bloody and everything, but the bitch looked like a fucking rug when it was done. A rug. That means if you understand anatomy and physiology, you have bones and you have muscles. You feel me? To beat the muscles flat and to crush, to flatten a fucking gorilla, bro, you have to beat the muscles and crush the bones completely. Completely. When you consider how colonialism worked, they didn't come over here fighting people that had no morale. When we're looking at how America is and what America is right now, we're looking at it, oh, they came over here, brought slaves from Africa, or whatever the case may be. Nah. People came from Africa. Whatever. We'll say what it is. But when they got on this motherfucking land, that's not who they met. That's not who they met. They met warriors. They met motherfuckers who was putting shit down. This is why America, when we look at America for real, America was jumped. The only reason why America, the Americas, and this is North America, South America, Central America, it got jumped by the French, the Spanish, and the English. Russians took over Alaska, but that's a whole different conversation. We're just going to talk about this East Coast side. They got jumped by the Spanish, the French, and the English. It wasn't a fair fight. It wasn't a fair fight. But they was getting their ass whooped. Right? But they had to realize we have to take the morale away from these people. In order to take the morale away from them, we have to give them the religion. You dig what I'm saying? Because we know the capacity of what they're going to do. This is why they had to bring disease. They had to bring guns and shit. All we had was bow and arrows and swords, bro. Knives and shit that we was making from crystals and stones, arrowhead arrows and shit. Like we was fucking them up. Nobody talks about that part of the fight. Like we look at it as, oh, they came over. It was enslavement. It was no. It was a war, my nigga. It was a war. 1492, when Christopher Columbus came over here, they sent him back with a message. He didn't just come over this motherfucker on some, oh, let's scout the land. We meet the people and we became friends. And it's not what Pocahontas made it seem like. With John Smith and them, it wasn't that. When they look at the lost colony, that hit in Virginia, they said, oh, it just disappeared. No, they got their ass whooped. You left them motherfuckers behind and they got their ass whooped because motherfuckers saw what the fuck was going to happen. They didn't just disappear. How come nobody was able to find the bodies? They started fucking with shit and they got killed. So when they came back and they're like, all right, let's get this shit started. There was a war fought. And they were losing. They were fucking losing. When the Haitians defeated Napoleon and his army, this is a part of history they don't talk about. This is why this is the whole, how when they say, if you just watch the movie Sinners, they keep saying, all of the Christians and shit, oh, this movie was demonic. They were practicing this. They were practicing that. Ha, ha, ha. It was all demonic. No. The God of your enemy is your devil. So if your enemy views something as demonic, it is very angelic for you. However, when you assimilate into your enemy's religion, what's angelic to you is now demonic to you. You see what I'm saying? Rewinding back to the point that I was mentioning with the Haitians. Why are the Haitians so feared? Because when that battle started, it was give them back their God, you are free. That was the quote. I want to say it was Denmark Desalegn or Overture. One of those men said it for the war. They was like, look, give that man back his religion. You are free. And when they did, shit got fucked up. And it got fucked up because when I'm gonna get back to the guerrilla shit, but it got fucked up because when they ran up on the people, as the stories go, it's a what's the name of the book? It's a book on voodoo. A guy wrote a book on voodoo and some of the history that was, that was kept and passed down according to voodoo. And he was saying that they had no guns, they had no weapons. So they say, they had weapons. They knew nature and shit, whatever. But he said they had no guns. They reduced Napoleon's army from 30,000 down to 3,000. Nobody wants to tell that part on how they did it. But in the accounts of some of the people, they were raising zombies from the dead. That's how they were mentioning it. These men were zombies. The men they were just erecting figures from the dirt to go and fight for them. Right? So now when you look at that with Haiti, and when you look at how all of the Americas, even from the Haiti's perspective, Haiti, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, it's the same ultimately the same landmass. This is why it's like when Dominican people be like, I'm not black. Bitch, you are black. You Haitian. Haitians are Dominicans and Dominicans are Haitians because it's the same fucking landmass. But if we divide the landmass and we make the people think whatever, they're not even going to pay attention to the genetics. That's why a fucking dark motherfucker like fucking Big Papi Ortiz plays baseball would tell a motherfucker, I know black. Nigga, yes, you black. Yes, you black. But this is a European mentality. You feel me? That because we have the numbers, we can conquer. And we was fucking them up. They had to introduce diseases. They had to introduce so much shit. And they had to stop the war and the fight and then send missionaries over. Nobody wants to talk about that part. When they came over on a recon and they came to get their motherfucking information and shit, they were met with some shit that sent them back. So they went to prepare. And they said, we're going to send the missionaries first. We're going to send the Christians first. We're going to send the people that can make them believe something different. So when we look at missionary sex, it's the sex of missionaries, which is rape. Even down to today, our sex is so fucking barbaric and animalistic that it's crazy. Like, I be talking to women and shit, and here's the point that I'm gonna make with that. There's a fine line between sex and rape. So fine that in a single moment, the moment a woman says something's not right, it literally, in a flip of a moment, can turn to rape. Just like that. Why? Because the sex is already in a rape perspective. Missionary sex, hold me down. Like, listen to how, like, you choke a motherfucker, slapping a motherfucker, beating a motherfucker. Like, you feel me? What the fuck has happened to us to where our sex is normalized like that? You feel me? Being celibate and actually studying sex and studying so much history and starting to break barriers and shit, I realized that as a kid, you feel me, the sex was weird. But it was normalized. It's like, this is what you do. She got to scream. I got to make her scream. Why? The power of it. Women have gotten into that. Like, there's literally whole sexual things called, like, what is it, BDSM or some shit like that? Dominatrix and shit. You got to dominate. I like to be like, no, you like to be raped consensually. That's a scary fucking feeling. That's how missionary sex started. You feel me? Fucking a woman until her coochie swells up. It's not good sex. Her body literally tells you you're not supposed to be in here anymore. So much so that the vagina has its own defense mechanism to swell it the fuck up. But that's how the missionaries came over here. That became the foundation and the basis of the sex. I'm doing a dramatic pause. I'm still here. I'm just doing a dramatic pause to let shit sink in. Because that's how these motherfuckers came over. The Spanish conquistadors, the English settlers, the fucking French. I forgot what the French called themselves. The Spanish were the conquistadors, the English were the settlers, and the French were something. But they all came over under the same thing, under the Latin, under Roman Empire, to conquer Negroes. I already broke down what that shit was a while ago, but the Negroes. But their mentality was, because we have the numbers, we can beat them. Caucasians have never, in their history of colonization, whatever, they have never fought fair. I get it. It's war. In war, you don't necessarily have to be fair. It's like, but there's a level of honor that niggas really have already that you like. If you a real fighter and you grew up in the hood or whatever the case may be, with the integration, let me say that because my mind is running a mile a minute now. If you ever been in a fight for real, bam, bam, bam. Back in the day when we used to knuckle up and scrap, boom, after you fought, you lose, you win, whatever the case may be, we dapped each other up. It was a one-on-one fight. Shit started to change when motherfuckers started getting jumped. Motherfuckers started shooting. And all of that is a direct correlation with integration. We started thinking like their warriors, which were barbarians. Barbarians have absolutely no... Barbarians have no merit. You feel me? Now, when people say, okay, well, that has nothing to do with, it has everything to do with religion, because when a religion ordains you, I'm sorry, like if I serve a deity and that deity says, when you go to this new land, put to the sword and you conquer it, put to the sword all men, women, children, and cattle. In real war, real warriors know men and children, the elders, children, and women are off limits. War is between warriors. That's it. But when your religious doctrine says, put to the sword all men, women, children, and cattle, and take the virgins for yourself. When we look at booty, why is booty so associated with black women? That booty fat, that this, that. What is booty other than spoils of war? I'm doing another dramatic pause with that because it spoils a fucking war. So when I say, yo, we got the mentality of rape culture. Nigga, no, we don't. Look at yes, we do. Yes, we do. These women are booty. I want some booty. I want some booty. Spoils of war. What's the booty nigga from not from Boondocks? He was a real motherfucker, but in Boondocks, they called him a booty warrior and shit. He's like, I want some booty. Why is prisons like that? Because it's about power. Booty is not fucking just ass. Booty is spoils of fucking war. Whatever you take as you win from the war. But like I said, when they came over here, they got their ass whooped first. They was getting their ass whooped for a long time until we couldn't fight no more. You see what I'm saying? But in addition to that, they had to take away the morale with the religion. That's why the missionaries came first. You'll know when a motherfucking area is about to be colonized when they start to send missionaries over first. If you are in an area and you see them little niggas ride up on bikes with the black pants and a white shirt, war is coming. War is coming. But because we no longer have to actually see the actual bloodshed of war anymore, it doesn't look like war. It doesn't look like war. First they come over, about your Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. We're going to do this, that, and the third. Now we're going to disarm you. We're going to take away your morale. So when we come in this motherfucker, you'll pray before you fight. You'll pray. I was just making a post about this. Where I was saying, what was it? They create the hell and then sell you the salvation for free. You have to be saved from what's coming. We're going to do it to you. But now we put you in a space where you don't even think to fight back. Turn a cheek to your enemy. Your enemy's coming, but we're going to save you from your enemy. Your enemy looks just like me. Your enemy sent me first. That's why I love 300 so much. When the messenger came, it's fucked up that it was a black. Like, why the fuck you kick a black man in the hole when y'all Greeks and Spartans and shit? You feel me? And Persians. Nigga, why you send a black Persian messenger, nigga? And then the god, the motherfucker Xerxes wasn't even black in the fucking movie. Should have been the other way around. But whatever. I'm not even going to get into that part. You feel me? It's their story. Let them tell their story, how they going to tell their motherfucking punk ass story. But the messenger got kicked in the fucking hole. We didn't kick the messengers in the holes. We took their books. We prayed with them. We took on what they wanted us to take on. So when the war fucking came, we were the bigger people. Oh, you have more morale because you've been saved. You have more morale because of this. No, because they're coming under this same guise that says, put to the sword all men, women, children, and cattle. This is why when I talk to, the Israelites and black people that say we're the chosen people, which version of the chosen people are you? Are you the chosen people who was cursed, who was supposed to be enslaved and subjugated because you hard-headed and don't fucking listen? Or are you the chosen people who are given land to put to the sword all men, women, children, and cattle and take the virgins for yourself? Now we got to look at, what is the virgin? The motherfucker who hasn't had sex yet. Okay, cool. Typically, who would that be? The little girls. Pedophilia. Well, Sing, I thought you was talking about a gorilla and the motherfucker. I am. I'm telling you where this mindset comes from, to where you feel where you can go and fight a gorilla because you got 100 men. When I tell people integration got us thinking like Caucasians, now motherfuckers don't want to believe me. I don't think like a white, you are a white person in black skin. This whole thing, as simple as it is proven that. It's proven that. You think solely from the perspective of power, dominion, and conquering. All of these religions all teach the same shit. You have dominion over the animals. You have dominion over everything. You know what dominion means? To dominate. This is why I'm like, yo, y'all niggas is retarded. Y'all niggas really don't. Y'all read this shit and don't know what the fuck you're reading. You clearly aren't comprehending it. And you wonder why your sex is built like this? Why women have to be submissive? Women don't have to be submissive. Women are not naturally submissive. But now when we start wiring this, now we're going to teach the women, now that they've been, all of the shit they've been, now we're going to break it down. This is, continuing with this, with the colonization and shit. There's a picture where it's a black grandmother and she has a lighter skinned daughter, and the daughter has a damn near white baby, and the black woman is like thankful. It's in Cuba, I want to say. It's about the Cuban colonization or whatever the case may be. How did that happen? You feel me? The mother was raped. From the rape of the mother, the daughter was now still raped. And then you ultimately raped the melanin out. Because even deeper than just the morale being taken away, we also got to take away your genetics, because there's something in that shit. There's something in that shit, in the melanin that you have, that's got y'all fucking us up. You feel me? When we look at all of this, the full gamut of everything, there was a war fought and we lost. We weren't just slaves. That's why they tell the story, oh, they were slaves from Africa. No, nigga, we're prisoners of war, and we're Africoid in our genetics. You feel me? You really think the motherfucker that knew that they called us Indians because they went the wrong way, because they were supposed to be going to India. They came to the Americans, oh, we got to call this shit India. We're going to call them Indians. No, they're not Indians, bro. They're not. Oh, they're Native Americans. We're going to give them the political. No, because if you keep trying to put all of these terms in here that you didn't create, you're not going to call your people by the right names. If we were made in his image, then call us by our names. You can't call us by our names because it trumps everything else. Because now, when I tell you that for 400 years, y'all were enslaved, and no, for 400 years, there was a war going on. And we use that shit to justify what the fuck was happening. Yeah, it's like that. It's like that. And now we have put the buffer in to make sure that the religious men prevent this motherfucking quote unquote Messiah from rising, to prevent the actual. See, this is why I've been talking about Messiah it was never a person, it was an energy. One thing that stuck with me with J. Edgar Hoover was when he said, we fear the rise of a black Messiah. We fear the rise of a black Messiah who has the militant mind to spark the people. Why is Messiah and militant used in the same sentence? We're going to tell you there's only one Messiah, and it's this person. You feel me? It's this one individual. Now, this is why it's so important that when we look at it from the war perspective, why they say when the final battle comes, Jesus is going to come and fight. Messiah and militant go together. But we're not going to teach you that Messiah means Messiah energy and you have it in you. Because we don't want you being militant. We're going to tell you somebody has to be militant on your behalf. Well, saying, what the fuck does this have to do with the fucking gorilla? Everything. Because now when we go back to the gorilla, you can't take the morale of the gorilla. I don't give a fuck how many men you have. You bring 100 men, you're not taking that the morale out. But the arrogance of people thinking that because we're who we are, we can conquer this gorilla. This goes into dominion. We have dominion over the animals, so why the fuck can't we conquer a gorilla? If you took guns away, you will see who really has dominion over this world. There is no such thing as dominion because everything is supposed to work in the ecosystem, not a hierarchy. Everything is supposed to work as an ecosystem, not a hierarchy. You feel what I'm saying? Man does not have dominion over the animals. An elephant can trample a man. A gorilla can whoop a man's motherfucking ass. There's no dominion is not a thing. But when you perceive that a God said you have dominion over all of these animals, you have dominion over everything that I give you. But then when I tell you that a God is the highest conceptualization of the mind, this is what my mind perceives that I want to do. Now you start to learn how you think like a Caucasian.
Hey, bro, for real though, at some point we gotta stop talking to women about masculinity and start talking to each other about it. And I mean really talk to each other. Not as enablers and co-signers, but as men trying to reach the pinnacle of our essence. And that's what the So Frail series does. So Frail 1 is the definition. So Frail 2 is the acknowledgement. And So Frail 3 is the resolution. If you rock with the So Frail conversations, I can guarantee you will rock with the So Frail series of books. So visit IamJustSeen.com right now so you can add the series to your library. I promise you will never look at masculinity the same again, and you're going to stop wasting your time arguing with women about it. This is a conversation that men need to have between men, and it's time we start having this conversation now.
Watching sinners and motherfuckers calling this shit demonic as they're watching, like when the nigga said the Lord, when the fucking if you haven't seen it, spoiler alert, when the vampire said the Lord's Prayer with Sammy, it was like, wow, the shit don't work because it's not yours. It's not yours. It was used to remove your morale. Think about it. As Sammy, if you've seen the movie, again, spoiler alert, when Sammy starts saying the Lord's Prayer and Remick says it back, it's not until Sammy says, fuck the Lord's Prayer, he don't really say it like that, but then he takes his guitar and hits Remy in the head. That Lord's Prayer is how morale is taken. I don't fight. I pray. I'm a prayer warrior. When Messiah goes with militant, how the fuck can prayer go with warrior? That's an oxymoron. Even in the Bible, Jesus, as the Messiah, was also militant. This is why he whooped the motherfucker's ass in the motherfucking temple when they was gambling and shit. He went in there with the whip and flipped shit over. But on the other side of that, he never fought anybody else. What is that? What is the number they tell you to be just be Christ-like, and they call him a Prince of Peace. And I think motherfuckers missed that shit. When the motherfucker was asleep and he went out to and the storm was going, he went out to the storm and said, "Peace, be still." He told the storm to calm the fuck down. A lot of us won't go out and tell our storms to calm the fuck down. So you really want me to believe that y'all can take a fucking gorilla? That's a storm, my nigga. You're not calming it down. Because like I said, once that gorilla hits that motherfucker, and I know it seems like, yo, Sing, how are you threading this shit this way? This is just how I do. But when that motherfucker gorilla hits the first couple people and takes their morale, it's over. They're predicating this on the reality that they can take the morale off of a gorilla. You can. A gorilla isn't a human. It doesn't have the same functioning mind that it has to have its morale taken. But again, when you start the integration, when you think like a colonizer, when you think like the motherfucker who oppressed you, you think that you can do this shit and you can't. There's no logic to what the fuck you're talking about in any way, shape, or form. And that's when it gets sad, it gets disrespectful, and it gets fucked up because, Pete, the civil rights movement put all of the warriors on the front line to sing songs and say, "We shall not be moved. We this, that, and the third." The Black Panther Party was that militant group. The Black Panther Party was the motherfuckers who, we're not doing this shit. You're not fucking with us, bro. Now that they've integrated, they fucked up because they thought if we integrate them, we can assimilate them further to the point where they are now subservient again by volition. They are subservient again by their own doing. By wanting to be like us, they never contemplate on the fact that we will learn your ways and become like you. So now that we've integrated, we have this mentality of we can beat a fucking gorilla. We have 100% successfully been assimilated and integrated into their culture. We are them. And we see ourselves as they see us. This ties into one of the other things that I've seen associated with this post. It's you niggas will come together to fight one gorilla, but you shoot niggas. Ain't no friendly phase no more. Niggas is doing drive-bys, hitting up innocent, putting to the sword all men, women, children, and cattle. That's religious. That's biblical. These niggas ain't got no motherfucking heart. They doing drive-bys and shit, hitting kids, hitting babies. The dog can get it. I'm a battle rapper. I like battle rap. You feel me? I don't battle rap as far as, let me say this. I started off battle rapping that's where my roots come from as far as lyricism goes. So I come from that cloth. But now that I put my pen in, still I have that competitive nature if it ever has to come out, but it won't. But I now write a different way. But the purpose that I was saying with that is like, if you listen to battle rap, they'll talk about how your kids can get it. They're talking about how your dog can get it, how the animals can get it. We shooting everything in the house, everything that's in there. We're putting to the sword all men, women, children, and cattle. That's biblical, my nigga. That's in the Bible. Yeah, the sword is not a gun, but everything else is still the same. How many motherfuckers do drive-bys and shit? The motherfucker that they hit ain't even there. 50 got a song, he got in the song called Heat. He says, if you were smart, you be shooking me. Because I get tired of looking for you, spray your mama crib and let your ass look for me. Women and kids, the elders, the women and children have always been off limits. Not to them, not to their culture, not to the barbarism. We're the barbarians now. I put this in Sofer 1. I put this in gang culture is barbarism. What we consider gang culture is barbarism, my nigga. You only got this smoke for your niggas. You only got this smoke for motherfuckers that look like you. So who do you think you are on the inside? Because all of a sudden, now that the authority is kicking in, you don't have the same smoke for the police. There's that video now, and they're trying to get us out there because they want to go to war with us. They want to continue the war because now they can. Like, you feel what I'm saying? We done fucked y'all morale up like a motherfucker. All y'all warriors are athletes under contracts. They're not fighting shit. You feel me? The motherfuckers who could protect y'all, we got them in prison. The warriors that could protect y'all are either athletes under contract or in the prison system. The motherfuckers that are free that could protect you, you'll talk them out of it. You'll call them militant, you'll call them over the top, or they work for the police. We got your warriors, my nigga. And we gonna put your warriors against each other. We be thinking gang culture is just like that. Like, nah, nigga, no, nigga, a cop is the same shit. Niggas will say I'm blue over black. Niggas will say I'm Christian before I'm black. Nigga, no, you're not. No, you're not. Now you have to realize what you assimilated into. Look at where our warriors are scattered around to. You feel me? We integrated. This is what it was. There's no protection. There's no protection in any way, shape, or form. There's only pacification. I'm doing a dramatic pause right there because I need y'all to let this sit in. Well, Sing, how in the fuck did, what does fuck this, if you don't see how what this has to do with that motherfucking gorilla, then I don't know what to tell you. Because the sole conceptualization of the ability to think like that is everything that I'm talking about. Everything that I'm talking about. You look at this threatening thing, but you want to catch it in isolation. If you were as built as you think you are, why isn't it not 100 niggas versus 100 gorillas? You know that doesn't work. You know there's no way you can do that, but you know that we have to conquer. We have to conquer in numbers. And we have to conquer in numbers because we know there is no fair one. We know we can't win a fair one. Tying it back, we didn't get colonized. We got jumped. We got jumped by the French. We got jumped by the English. We got jumped by the Spanish. They were working together when they jumped us. We looking at it as, oh, there was all three different eras. No, nigga, it was three different waves of the jump. You fought. You were fighting Latin people. You were fighting Romans. That's who the fuck you were fighting. You feel me? Even if we want to stick it to the African continent, King Leopold killed over 20 million motherfuckers. He couldn't kill the motherfuckers that they had to kill the morale first. The morale had to be killed first. That gorilla gonna kill y'all morale from the first 20 motherfuckers. Now when these other 80 motherfuckers try to kick in, oh nigga, the gorilla is go time. Now I'm ripping flesh. Now I'm biting niggas. Now I'm biting niggas, bro. And gorillas don't have herbivore teeth like we do. They're not flat. They're sharp. They have canine. They have very, very sharp teeth. They ripping flesh, nigga. They ripping flesh. Y'all motherfuckers are stupid because y'all think y'all can take that on because you have a colonizer's mentality. So much so, this is something that I used to say as a kid that as I matured, I got older. Because like I said, I've had my share of fights. I've taken L's, I've given dubs, but I've had my share of fights. But something that we will always say is, I'll beat that nigga ass. It's good that you had that confidence in yourself. Something that I used to always say when motherfuckers be like, yo, you think you could beat such and such? I don't know, I never seen a fight. Why is that even a question? Why is that even a question of whether or not I can beat this person? Why is it? Do you think you can dominate him? You feel me? Why does it have to be in numbers? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, me and my niggas will fuck you up. Me and my niggas will do this. Like, listen to the shit, bro. Niggas, when we congregate and we go places ready for war. We in the club 50 deep. Why? Because we looking for the op and we gonna stomp the nigga out. Why? Fuck the gorilla for a second. Look at the culture. We go in droves. If you look, and I'm glad Sinners came out or whatever the case may be, but if you look from the Jim Crow, the fucking look at those eras. Look at a lynch mob. Why was there always a lynch mob? You niggas, y'all couldn't lynch. You didn't. If you wanted to lynch a motherfucker, you couldn't lynch the motherfucker by yourself? No, you couldn't. You get your ass whooped. When the KKK, when the Klan came to motherfucker, they never came with just one nigga and shit. You the Grand Wizard. If you the Grand Wizard, come by yourself. Shoot the fair one. If you're the Grand Wizard, that means you're the leader. You feel me? You the one. You feel me? You the motherfucking one. Why do you not shoot the fade, the fair one? No, you got to bring your whole clan members and you got to wear a mask. You niggas come in droves for one family. You feel me? Dick Gregory I heard something that he was speaking on. He was like, nah, you can't, like, they will come to the house and drag a man out. That single man couldn't do nothing against the clan coming, like, it's called a clan for a reason. They never came in single. They never came singly. It always, it's got to be multiple. We're coming deep. We're coming deep. You don't think niggas think like that? Now look at gang culture. How we rolling? We coming deep, nigga. We gonna be deep as hell when we pull up on you. And if we ain't deep as hell, we gonna do a drive-by. Ain't no fair ones. I miss the days when it was fair ones and shit. Look at this is integration, nigga. We think like white people now. Think just like these motherfuckers. And we approach our reality the same way. This is no different. The motherfuckers think, oh, we can take 100 niggas can take a gorilla and shit. Like, no. When those niggas that they'll approach 5, 10, 15 people, we gonna run up on you. Now you gotta shoot me the fair. You gotta shoot me the fair one. Right? But you better not, like, now I gotta watch all of these other niggas while I'm shooting you the fair one. Cause you know you ain't gonna beat me on the one-on-one. You don't even have enough confidence in yourself that you could beat me in a fair one. Now, I thought we was talking about the fucking gorilla. Again, if you don't see the metaphor and everything that I'm talking about, that's your fault. You probably colonized. You probably in this shit. But this is the shit that I be talking about. Motherfuckers is retarded. Because we have now finally fully assimilated into this culture where we look at our people in that same way. The idea, like I said, the idea is so natural that you look at how everybody has come together under the same thing. I think we could take that gorilla. I think we could take logical motherfuckers. No, you're not taking that gorilla. But now let's look at this. Let's look at how the system works. Because the morale is being taken away. When the police pull up on you, why do they always call for backup? How in the fuck are you to fear? Like, when you pull up on me as a black man, case in point, I'm going to say this first and I'm going to get to that other side piece that I was going to say. When you pull up on me as a black man, you're already afraid. Black man got pulled over, blah, 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 and shit. As soon as they already got their guns on the hip. Then they call them for backup. Bitch, you got the vest, you got the taser, you got the gun, and it's just me. And you fear for your life. You fear for your life. Now, when multiple of y'all come, y'all still in fear of just single old me? Interesting. Very interesting. Well, we don't know. This person might be this, that, and the third. Well, leave him the fuck alone. That's simple. Leave him the fuck alone. But no, now I'm not going to beat you till I got you handcuffed. I'm going to tase you. I'm going to mace you. I'm going to do all of this shit. I'm going to shoot you because it's like now I can do shit to you. It be motherfuckers that have already surrendered, got on their knees and put their hands behind their back and they bum rush them. Why was that necessary? Why was that necessary? You feel me? It's taking 80 y'all to put handcuffs on me and I've already surrendered. It's a mentality, my nigga. It's a mentality. So now when we are seeing the collective of everybody saying, yo, bro, 100 men can take a gorilla. Now, on the other side of that, this is how morale works. There's motherfuckers right now that say, nah, we can't. I'm one of these motherfuckers that's saying we can't take a gorilla. But some people have not broken down and given the logic behind why I said that. They're motherfuckers just like, yo, it's a gorilla, yo. As black people, we scared of everything. So much so that a motherfucker that we see is fearless, we call him crazy. That's that white people shit. Going out in nature, dealing with animals, all that, that's that white people shit. Your morale is gone as a human. Anything that you can see that is tied to fearless behavior, you call white people shit. Bravery, courage, we call that white people shit. So what the fuck do you think we've internalized? If what we call, when it comes to these motherfuckers out there with snakes, these motherfuckers out here doing this, these motherfuckers out here doing this, we think we was always like that. Well, we saw this as white people shit. Oh, they going skydiving, they going bungee jumping, they doing this, that, and the third. No, there was a time when there was a rites of passage for some men to, in some African cultures to this day, there's a rites of passage when a boy becomes a man, he has to bungee jump. And it's not no man-made bungee jumps. No, they find It's just the regular vines from the fucking jungle. They climb up and they bungee jump to eliminate your fear. We call that shit. We call that white people shit now. Who you think they copy off? Copy off us. But we call that our morale is gone. That's white people shit. That's white people shit. So much so. Look at what happens when white people. If that was a white person, they'll get away with that, talking to the police a certain way. Because it's I have to kill your morale because I can't beat you on a fair one. I know I can't fuck with you on a fair one in any way, shape, or form. We know that shit too. We talk shit to them. Hey, if you ain't had that badge on you, I'll beat your motherfucking ass. And they know they'll get their motherfucking ass beat if they ain't had that badge on them. If they ain't had that badge on them, they ain't had that gun on them, they ain't had none of that shit. This is a mentality. It sounds good. It sounds funny as shit. You feel me? 100 men could take a gorilla. Y'all not looking at the mindset that gives them the courage and the bravery to feel like they can take on a fucking gorilla. I'm doing a dramatic pause. I'm going to do a whole lot of dramatic pauses in this motherfucker. And niggas want to pause everything else. Pause that. Sit and let that shit marinate. You feel what I'm saying? 100 niggas deep. And it ain't deep enough. But 100 niggas deep to stomp one motherfucker. What are y'all so afraid? What are y'all so afraid of? Oh, yo, my mans lose. Like, when me and my homies and shit, when we was young, we always fought fair ones. Except for the time, like I said, we jumped dude or the calling my sister bitch. But that was after that, never jumped anybody again. Oh, I did. Never mind. Let me stop lying. We jumped a crackhead. Where y'all jump a crackhead for? Nigga? Crackheads are strong. But nah, we jumped this crackhead because we was gonna rob him. And it was, once we seen that the police had left the neighborhood and shit, we was like, oh, because, you know, they come around on their patrols and shit. Oh, the police gone. And we know the crackhead, when he come, let me tell you, right? So the crackhead, whenever he came out, you feel me? He was spending big money, $200 to $250. Now, mind you, $250, $200 ain't shit. It ain't enough to rob a motherfucker for. I ain't even gonna hold you. But when you're 15 and 16 years old, $200 to $250 is a lot of money to split up when you ain't got no bills, you ain't got shit. It's gonna be free paper. So my homie said, yo, somebody out here and they spending. So what we gonna do? Hey, we gonna rob them. You down? I'm down. Let's go. We went to go rob them. You feel me? When my homie, he was like, yo, the police left? And he was like, yeah, the police are gone. So he hit dude in the back of the head. When he hit dude in the back of the head and he leaned forward, that's when I started hitting him. Boom, 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 boom. So I'm hitting him. I'm like, yo, run them pockets. So my homie's running in his pockets. He ain't got no money. The one time, the crackhead that spend the most was there. He didn't have no money to spend. And the motherfucking, the big homie shit was like, nigga, y'all fucked up my fucking money, bro. He said that was supposed to be, he was giving him something on credit. He was going to get his check. I'm like, oh, we thought he had some money. He said, so y'all was just going to rob the nigga? Yeah, we was. We didn't get DP'd and no shit like that because they ain't do no stupid shit like that to us. But he ain't had no money on him. Right? Now, I only told that story because I said I never jumped somebody again after, but then that was a different story. This was an adult, maybe, but he was a crackhead and we wanted to get his money. But outside of that, never jumped nobody. So me and my homies were always, you know, you got to shoot the fair one. If you lose, you lose. If you win, you win. That shit don't fly no more. Niggas don't even get a chance to shoot a fair one no more. You feel me? I used to, like, if you lose, nigga, you lose. Now, I will break up the fight and let y'all separate and square up again, but I wouldn't jump in. I wouldn't jump in. You feel me? So much so that's like, yo, and I would tell my homies, yo, you got to see me if you jump in. Because I'm not about to give up a win. Because you jumped in. Like, I could have got him. I could have got him, bro. I could have got him, bro. But you jumped in and took that win from me. Now we got to deal with bigger issues. Because now these niggas is coming back deeper. Oh, y'all want to jump my mans, nigga? We jumping y'all. Okay, y'all jump us. Now we got to kill y'all. We kill y'all. Now we got to kill them. And it's like, that shit don't ever stop, my nigga. That shit don't ever stop. It don't ever fucking stop. But it don't stop because it's a mentality. It's a mentality. And this mentality is present right now when you got 100 men thinking they could take a gorilla. Why would you need 100 men to take a gorilla? Why is it in your mind to want to assert that dominion over them? You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Like, this shit is a sickness. Because you don't go to war with the actual problem. There's more gangbangers than there are police officers. There's more gangbangers than there are police officers. I'm not inciting anything. I'm not telling anybody to do anything, but I'm saying let's put this in a metaphor. Let's put this in the same metaphorical perspective. There's more gangsters than there are police officers. You niggas won't do shit against a cop. One cop can silence all niggas. It could be 30 niggas on the block. One cop car can pull up and all these niggas will disperse. And you really expect me to believe y'all fight a gorilla? It only takes 200 to 250 pounds of pressure to break a man's jaw, a human's jaw. Y'all won't even do that for a single person, a single human. But you expect me to believe you'll fight 100 of y'all will fight a gorilla. You only had a morale to go fight a cop. To kill a cop that comes in and just does whatever they want to do in the community. Whenever they want to do it. Niggas run. Ford tours pull up, everybody run. White boys jump out, pointing with their guns. When the motherfucker Ford tours pull up, it ain't but one Ford tours. One Ford tours, nigga. 30 niggas run. Scatter. Scatter. It's never, this nigga got it ain't got but 17 bullets in the motherfucker. His gun ain't got but 17 bullets in the motherfucker. Again, I'm not inciting shit. Because right now we're in a very dangerous time. Because this is the moment when they're trying to get black people to do what they're doing. You're seeing now. I swear, bro, it's like I'm prophetic. Like I was just posting about this. I was like, now the videos of black people being harassed by the police and getting killed by the police and all that shit is circulating now. Why now? Why not? So it just wasn't happening before? No, nigga, we need to start getting this viral again. So we can try to get y'all in y'all feelings and y'all emotions and shit so we can see whose morale is still gone. This is what we testing. Yeah, you mad, but are you mad enough to do something? No? Okay, we'll fall back. We're going to keep fucking with you, though. But we're going to make sure your morale stays. When is it going to stop? Why do they keep doing this to us? Hands up, don't shoot. I can't breathe. This, that, and the third. Same shit, bro. We making sure you don't have the morale. Anytime y'all start getting unity, anytime y'all start getting any kind of connection with you, we going to take that motherfucking morale. Because we know we can't beat that fucking gorilla. I'm not calling us gorillas. I'm using this as a metaphor. We got to take the morale. But can't take the morale. Like, we can't conquer something that has morale. That's the point that I was getting at. You feel what I mean? We can't conquer something that has morale. Why would you try? You can't. You won't. But if I make sure, no matter what I do, I'm gonna take his morale. So that's the point that I was saying. If the police pull up, one nigga run, all 30 niggas think the same thing. Run. They don't think, nigga, this is one cop and 30 of us and we all strapped. The fuck? When I lived in Cali, this was right after the Rodney King beating. After that Rodney King beating and them riots in 92, that shit was different. They would call the police and report a crime, and the police would come and niggas would just start shooting the cop. Cops was dying at that time. But what did they tell you? Oh, yo, you're a cop killer. No. I'm a warrior fighting in a war. I just don't know how many ops I got. My people are ops to me, but I'm not realizing that I'm in a war and these are my real ops. The police, the Army, the Navy, the Marines, the Coast Guard, the fucking Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, all of these are ops. Nigga, you're in a fucking war. You're still a prisoner of war and they're still monitoring you. We are still POWs. I think people look at it as, because we don't have the shackles on them. Or they just let y'all run free because it's like, oh, nigga, we got shit in place. Y'all niggas will never buck up against us. We got the red button. We can push that button at any time. Yeah, we out here running shit against these other countries, but here, We're policing y'all. We're gonna police y'all. We got SWAT. We got the SEALs. We got fucking everybody, nigga. Y'all got Bloods and Crips, Vice Lords, GDs, motherfucking. These are the scattered factions of our warriors. And the ones who didn't get down, oh, you went to college to play sports. Okay. This is why I say I was talking about this. I don't remember. It was an old episode about warriors, messengers, and thinkers. And it's in So Frail. I think it's in So Frail 2. Possibly when I'm talking about warriors, messengers, or maybe it's So Frail 1. I don't know. It's in there. We're in a space now where anybody who wants liberation for your people, you have to be all three. As a black man, you have to be a warrior, a thinker, and a warrior, thinker, and a messenger at the same time. Our warriors are on contract, nigga. They're on contracts. You feel me? They can't do shit. It's because it's like now it gets to the divide and conquer shit, but you can't fuck with something that's moving as a unit. You can't. But the point that I was making with that was, you know, the gangbangers and shit, the gangsters and shit. It's like they only gangsters to the motherfuckers that ain't gangbanging. Like we lost the what's the purpose of gangbanging? Crips are community revolution in progress. Nigga, all of that shit gone. It ain't no revolution in progress at all. Not anymore. You feel me? Now it's just you beef with Bloods. Who set who against each other? If we was all supposed to be, if the Bloods and the Crips and everybody's supposed to be protecting the communities and shit, when did the communities, when did it stop? Because now when you study history, like both Crips and Bloods have roots and offshoots of being Panthers, being Black Panthers. When did that shit stop? When the drugs started coming in, like all of that shit, it you gotta kill the morale, bro. You gotta kill the morale. This shit is a game, bro. This shit is a game. But this is the point that I was making. Like, when you look at that shit, there's enough ammunition. There's enough ammunition in the hood to go to war with America right fucking now. In all hoods. But it's like we give you these guns and you kill each other with them. Because who do you think like on the inside? I don't think like a white man. I don't think like a white man. I ain't banging on my homie because this, that, and the third. Nigga, we from the... Nigga, you think like a fucking white man. This is why you think you can take... And I'm not saying the Crips and the Bloods and everybody is the ones talking about this 100 men, but it's like, I'm showing how wired the programming is. I'm showing you that in this metaphor of the 100 men versus one gorilla, you see that shit play out every fucking day. I want to dominate something with power, but I'm not going to try to dominate the powerful force. I'm going to isolate it by itself and take it over. So let's say 100 men do beat this gorilla and they take the gorilla back to the other gorillas. Set the example. I'm going to set the example or whatever the case may be. Now, you think the gorillas are going to look at it and say, oh, we're afraid now. We're afraid because of what you did to one gorilla. Do it to all 100 of us at one time. You can't. But that's how morale is. Like when we look at buck breaking, they didn't break bucks on a one-on-one. They came with a mob. Tied one motherfucker to a tree. All of them deep as hell. They tied one motherfucker to a tree and they broke him. Beat them, raped them, tied them to horses, ripped them apart and all of this shit. They didn't do it on a one-on-one. Frederick Douglass. He's known for beating his slave master. Put the fear in him and got free. Bitch, you're not hitting me no more. You're not hitting me no more. What they don't talk about within this construct is they always talk about how, you know, the men got beat. They talk about the torture that they did. They never tell you about the motherfuckers who fought back and won. I wouldn't tell you about that shit either. Because why? That builds morale, nigga. That builds morale. Nat Turner, like, Nat Turner. Nat Turner was some powerful shit. I'm going to tell you why that shit was so powerful. Because he was like, yo, fuck that. Let's get this shit. We got to get this shit back because you're using this for me to sedate my people. Now we're going to use it to liberate our people or whatever the case may be. And what happened when they killed him? They ate him. They ate him. Took the morale and they ate him. Why is this important? Because what is it with them about eating black people? So now when you look at Christianity, what is Christianity? Vampirism. It's cannibalism. People don't look at it like that. But when your number one ritual is to eat the blood and drink the blood and eat the flesh of Christ, right? Now, Jesus, as they say in the book, was, hair of wool, skin of burnt bronze. Communion is to eat the flesh and drink the blood of a being that has hair of wool and skin of burnt bronze. Why are black people following religion where the number one ritual is to eat the flesh of a black man, to cannibalize a black man? Yeah, I told y'all, I ain't holding shit back no more. I ain't got to. Like, I'm tired of it. Like, I'm not holding shit back no more, bro. I'm just not. I don't give a fuck about your motherfucking feelings about your religion no more, bro. I don't. And they're like, yo, why are you always talking about Christianity? You don't ever say anything about Islam. I don't have to. Christianity is the big brother. The fuck? It's the big cousin. Isaac and Ishmael were brothers. If Isaac is responsible for Christianity and Ishmael is responsible for Quran, if I don't fuck with Isaac, I don't fuck with Ishmael. The fuck? And I can constantly call Isaac a bitch because motherfucking Ishmael is a bitch because it's his brother. Because they come from a bitch-made-ass daddy, which is Abraham. And I'm not talking about physical people. This is all allegorical metaphors. Abrahamic religions, if one of the Abrahamic religions is fucked up, the other one is fucked up too. They brothers, because they was raised of the same fucking father. So if I'm looking at Christianity, and the number one ritual of that shit is to eat a black man, it makes sense how the colonization works so fucking well. While every religious person, there's some kind of connection to them not liking black people. Muslims don't. Christians is responsible for niggas. Muslims is responsible for kafirs. Both of them don't like black people. Go to the Arab store. Oh, why you call them Arabs? They're called Arabs. That's disrespectful. Nigga, I've been disrespected by these niggas. Let's let the respect be what the respect has to be, goddamn. Go to the Arab store and try to give them some money. Not some of the younger Arabs. They kind of cool. Because they've been in the culture long enough. They starting to think like white people, but they also starting to think like us and don't know what the fuck is happening. You feel me? But go to the Arab store with the old ones and put your money there. Get ready to give him your money. He's going to tell you to put your money down on the counter. He's going to take it. He ain't going to touch you. He's not going to let you take money from him. He's not going to let you put money in his hand. And yet you still going to go shop with him. What the fuck does that mean? What the fuck does that say? So again, I'm like this. As long as there's a racial slur for black people in every culture, continent, and language, I don't give a fuck about none of these motherfuckers, bro. I don't. But I gotta tell y'all what the fuck is happening. Because now when we look at, oh, why is the world against black people? Why is it like it's 100 niggas fighting one gorilla? Again, I'm not calling my people gorillas. I'm not saying my people are animals in any way, shape, or form. I'm showing you what the fuck the beef is. This is how they think. There is no fair one when it comes to black people. Whether you on the continent of America, whether you seen what they did to the Tasmanians? Tasmanians are gone, children. They're gone. But they give you a cartoon, the Tasmanian devil. And you wonder, like, when you see the caricature of the Tasmanian devil. He couldn't speak English. His parents could, but Taz himself couldn't speak English. He was wild, and he was the main character. That was a symbolism of the Tasmanian devil. Because the God of your enemy is your devil. They didn't speak English. Taz didn't speak English. But they caricaturize him as a retarded motherfucker. Tasmania has no black people on it anymore. Tasmanian devil was not an animal. It was not a fucking animal. That's a dramatic pause. I'm still here. But this is how it approaches it. When they came to the Americas, like, nigga, we could take a gorilla. And they couldn't. They had to come back and say, oh, we got to take the morale first. They are whooping our ass. And they lost. So when we lost, we ultimately had to surrender. Now, you can get moved onto reservations, pushed out west. Oh, this is the Trail of Tears manifestation, manifest destiny. This is Trail of Tears, blah, blah, blah. No, nigga, this was war. This was a war. They came with their guns. They came with the diseases. That's the only way that they were going to win. Because when they came over here the first time, they didn't, it wasn't working. They had to keep calling for reinforcements and you couldn't, there weren't no phones, nigga. The fuck, you had to send some niggas back on boat. They are whooping our ass, come help. Every time they came back, the colonies were lost. Every time they came back, the colonies were lost. Until they came in droves. That's why we got to send Napoleon over there, because he has the greatest army. We're going to send Napoleon. He's French. That's why, you know, he's such a iconic figure in their lore. But he got his ass whooped by the Haitians. Nigga, do not fuck with the Haitians. They crazy. They devils. They demonics. The same shit they did with the Tasmanians. The Haitians just didn't fall for it. Haitians whoop motherfuckers' ass. That's why Haiti is the only motherfucking black country with fucking independence. Bitch, don't fuck with us. But at the same time, because you wouldn't get down and lay down, now we're going to try to starve you of your resources. We're going to try to make, like, no, nigga, we need to take a page out of Haiti book. What the only page to take out of Haiti book was to get a motherfucker back as religion. That's it. Voodoo is evil. Hoodoo is evil. Santeria is evil. In context to the religion that made it evil. If I'm at war with you and you have a spiritual practice that's making sure that I don't beat your motherfucking ass, that shit is evil to me. That shit is evil. Man, my auntie, I'm going to say this and I'm going to start wrapping up. Well, my auntie that just transitioned, you know, we at the funeral and shit. And I really came to terms with the fact that it's like, yo, this is what broke us as men. This is what broke us as men. There wasn't a masculine man in the building. This, my uncles, my cousins. There wasn't a masculine man in the building. Not a single one. But they were all heavily religious. All devout. All saying stupid. I said, y'all, and it came, I was like, this is a fucking cult. I had been saying it for a long time. I had been like, I seen the cultic shit, like, right, like, because I had not been. Like, I think once my grandmother died in 2014, that was like the last time I went to church. Because by then I was starting to study. I was watching Hidden Colors. I was starting to study real history. I was like, nigga, nah, this a cult, bro. It's a cult to tame black men. To kill the morale of black men. There's not a single motherfucker that had the morale in that bitch. All of these motherfuckers are soft and like all like womanly. Like they was all, nigga, if you don't motherfucking put, and the motherfucking gangsters and shit, now I ain't gonna say all of them were not masculine men. Cause my young homies, my little cousins and shit that were like, that's in the streets that were there, they like, I'm like, y'all gonna get fucked up when y'all go back to church. Take this moment right now to get your masculinity straight, cause the church kills it. But it's a cult. It's a fucking cult, my nigga. It's a cult. It is what it is. Islam too. They're cults. Now imagine, these are already cults created that hate black people. And now black people are in the cults too with them? What the fuck you think is supposed to happen? the fuck do you think is supposed to happen? So I'm at this, and I'm just seeing how cultic this shit is. I'm like, y'all niggas ain't hearing shit. Y'all not listening to what the fuck is being said right here. This is all theatrics. Y'all niggas don't believe this shit. Like, it was supposed to be a fucking funeral for my aunt, and it turned into a church sermon. Like, it turned into a conversion, my nigga. Like, on some real shit, it was like, yo, if you ain't been saved, come get your life right. If you ain't, like, that's not what the fuck we here for. We here to celebrate the life of my auntie. Like, the fuck? But rather than celebrating the life, it's like, yo, come give your glory to God. Come for what, nigga? That was the whole theme. Like, it's my aunt's funeral, and everybody's saying, give your glory to God for her death. What? This is what she would have wanted. I think she would have wanted to be alive still. Fuck, I'm just saying. Well, you know she's in a better place than that. We don't know. We don't know. Ideally, we want that to be the case. That's a part of the cultic shit. And now it's like, because she's gone, now all of the pastors, everybody that came up and spoke was, get your life right so you can see her again. Get your life right so you can see her again. The fuck? Fuck is y'all talking about? Y'all supposed to be celebrating the life of my aunt, bro. Like, why are y'all talking about Jesus, and why are y'all talking about, like, God, and why are y'all talking about these things that don't have anything to do with her life? Other than the fact that, because she was so devout, this is what she would have wanted. And I'm like, are y'all listening to this shit? They're telling you that this person wanted their life, wanted you to remember that they devoted every ounce of their life to the deity, to the religion, to the faith, or whatever the case may be. And now, because they're gone, what this person would have wanted was to get everybody to be converted back into this thing. My peoples is like, yo, you gonna start coming back to church again? No, I don't think y'all niggas get this shit. I did not walk away because I'm mad. I didn't walk away because I'm angry. I understand what the fuck a cult is, bro. And I'm not gonna stay in this cult, bro. This shit is done. But this shit was necessary because when I looked at every single motherfucking man, their morale is gone. Every man in that motherfucking building, their morale was gone. They didn't think that they can do anything for themselves. There was an old homie. He ain't really old. He like got to be in like his 50s. You feel me? He had got a ticket driving from, New York and coming down and shit. And they gonna ask, can somebody help me pay this ticket? Fuck you mean help you pay the ticket? I don't know how to. I'm not good with the internet. I'm not good with it. Nigga, we are in a technological age where everybody has a smartphone. How the fuck do you not know how to go to a website? How the fuck do you not know how to type in the website that they have on a ticket? Go in and pay the shit and put your card information in. What the fuck? Nah, man, I'm just not good with that shit. No, there's no analysis and deconstruction in you. At all. At all. But you devout. You are devout like a motherfucker. You know the sky's gonna crack. You know one day you're gonna be in the clouds living on that shit. What the fuck? What the fuck? But at the same time, all of that was to say, these same people follow the ideology that they have been given dominion on this earth. This same dominion is what gives them the quote unquote confidence to feel like they can fight a fucking gorilla. They can take 100 motherfuckers and fight a fucking gorilla. I don't know how. I don't see how. But I see why. I see why. Because in the colonization, in the colonialism, and everything that was put in motion to stop the people that are here, it was designed to make sure that when they do decide to bring 100 men to fight a gorilla, the gorilla won't be able to fight back. And don't forget to check out Pala Cafe Clothing.
formerly Just Scenes merch, get all of your intricate designs crafted specifically for the melanated being to develop a positive imagery within self, and to have a little bit of fun in the process. From the peace, love, knowledge, and freedom to the dead horses and water designs, all of the styles are crafted for the imagery to make you feel as you're supposed to feel. Because as I always say, the best way to fit in is to stand out. And what better way to stand out than with your exclusive styles from Paula Cafe Clothing.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and end it there. I know, see, I thought you was gonna talk about a gorilla versus again, nigga. If you don't see what mentality would even program a nigga to think that 100 motherfuckers could take on a gorilla, there's something wrong with you. And by no means was I calling my people gorillas. Fuck no, I would never do no stupid shit like that. All of this was a metaphor. All of this was a metaphor. To show the harsh reality and the cold reality that niggas don't know what the fuck they doing. Niggas follow the ideology of Caucasian people. If this doesn't show you that you think like a white person, if you were on the side thinking, even had the inkling, I could take, now, do you see why? Now you see why this is a conversation. Me and my niggas, we can take this shit. Me and my niggas can do this shit. You think that. You think that, but now look at how much morale, like you have all of this confidence to go fight a gorilla when you were surrounded with a gorilla every single day. The white supremacy is the gorilla. White supremacy is the fucking gorilla. And we got well over 100 niggas to go fight white supremacy. White supremacy is the fucking gorilla, my nigga. But because of white supremacy, you don't see white supremacy as the gorilla. You see your niggas as the gorilla. You see the reflection of you that looks just like you as your op. That's your gorilla. Think just like white people, bro. Think just like the motherfuckers that colonized us. Think just like the people that turned us into prisoners of war. Integration was the final piece, bro. Integration was the final piece to make sure this shit was going to stick forever. Niggas really think like white people. Don't even realize it. I was just making another post today at the time of this recording where I was saying drill music is clan music. Simple. I got whole records on killing niggas, bro. I made an art out of killing niggas, bro. I made a genre of music out of killing niggas, bro. Not only just killing niggas, but killing, decimating them. Genocide. You feel me? We spinning blocks. We hitting kids. We hitting mamas. We hitting all of this. We hitting everybody that's outside. Anybody. Like, we made it's a genre of music on killing niggas, bro. That's crazy. When you really think about that shit, my nigga, that's crazy as fuck. That's so fucking crazy, bro. There's a genre of music for killing niggas, bro. Now, if white people pulled up, now, when we hear like, I don't even think we get this shit, bro. Like, my nigga, we love inviting niggas to the cookout. We'll see a YouTube video or Instagram reel or a TikTok or some shit, and a white person is singing along to drill music. Oh, well, they didn't say nigga, though. They didn't have to. They didn't have to. They didn't have to. The whole song is about killing niggas. So what? They didn't say the word nigga in the song. The whole song is about killing niggas. And we let them sing to it. As long as they don't say nigga, though, we let them sing to it. If a Caucasian artist came out, this is one of the reasons. This is one of the things that I have against battle rap letting white people in. You feel what I'm saying? This is one of the things I have against battle rap having white people coming in battle rap talking about shooting and killing and doing this, and they're battling black artists. On some real shit, when it really first made sense to me, I never forget it. Because I was always on him. Okay, he grew up with this particular sect of people. Like he's from where we from, so he could rap like that about shit. It's like, wait a minute. It's a white dude battling a black dude saying how he'll kill a black dude. Well, he rapping just like the black dudes. I know, and that's what makes it the problem for me. Because battle rap as a whole, outside of, I was so blinded by the metaphors, and you know, this ain't gonna stop me from listening to battle rap. That's not what I'm saying. But this is one of the things that I'm like, I was so wrapped up in the punchline and the metaphor, I'm paying attention to the artistry of the black man. And this is just how you happen to perfect your art. But you feel me? It's like for example, when Rum Nitty said, he said low rounds and stuff, and they said ill in the lobby. I grabbed the nose run and I'm coming down with something. That was fucking hard, bro. But he's talking about killing another black man. You feel me? When Daylight said, if I chase a nigga, Glock wake a nigga, funeral homes, box wake a nigga, you get the open hand, the fist of the deuce, rock, paper, scissors. That was fucking cold. But it was about killing a black man. It never registered to me because I'm so busy focusing on the art till I seen a white rapper, till I started seeing white rappers in battle rap talk about, I pulled a 40 on you, do this. What? Wait, what? Then I took a step back and I started listening to drill music a little closer, and I'm like, if a white artist came out and made a drill song, you can't say nigga though. Don't say nigga though, but I talk about this genre is about killing niggas. Replace killing with lynch. This genre is about lynching niggas, bro. The niggas would do it for them. The niggas will kill themselves at this point. I still fuck with battle rap. But now I'm more conscious of what I'm listening to. I can't listen to certain battle rap for so long. There was days when I used to like I used to binge it and just like, I missed this battle. Now I can't listen to niggas killing niggas all day long. Like, damn. Like, nigga, it's like, nigga, round 1, round 2, round 3, round 4. Like, well, it's 3 rounds, but I'm speaking as, you know, you go, I go, and we talking about killing each other, bro. And the multitude of ways in which we'll kill each other, bro. Not only kill each other, kill the niggas that we came with. Make sure the niggas that we came with kill your niggas. And when you put white skin on a motherfucker, it changes it because it's like, nigga, you talking just like a clan member, bro. Yeah, you rhyme. Yeah, you got a little soul to your shit, bro. You talking just like a fucking clan member. If you heard a clan member converse about, you know, what they would do to niggas and shit and how to, nigga, that's what we do. So it makes sense why motherfuckers will feel like they can take 100 niggas and go get a gorilla. Because it's about dominion. It's all about dominion. It's all about dominion. It's all about power. It's all about everything that they feel that they are entitled to in this world. Everything that they are entitled to in this world. That they have the dominion to do. And when we do it, like, you feel me? Motherfuckers talk about, you know, I throw your kids over the balcony and this, that, and the third. In war, religiously, you put to the sword all, barbarians put to the sword all men, women, children, and cattle, and they use religion to justify that shit. Real warriors only go to war with warriors. Even when you watch motherfucking Troy, go back and watch Troy. Motherfucking, they like, yo, you bring your strongest fighter, we'll bring our strongest fighter. Whoever wins, nigga, let's let these other kids go home. Let's let these other motherfuckers go home. Achilles fought the bull and just stabbed him in the neck, and that was the end of the fight. Nobody else had a fight. Because again, it takes the morale away. Nigga, you beat our strongest nigga, and that's your strongest nigga? Okay, nigga, fight over. Let's just go home. Let's just go home. Even Paris, when he took Helen and shit, like, nigga, I'm only laughing because it's like, nigga, you can't take a man, bitch, and you can't fight, nigga. The fuck. When he took Helen, he went and fought a fair one. and got beat the fuck up. But it was a one-on-one fight. Even though he couldn't fight, it was a one-on-one fight. Hector couldn't even jump in. He did jump in, which ultimately led to the war, because it's like, nigga, man, my little brother can't fight, bro. He'd get bitches, that's it. He ain't a fighter, nigga. You a fighter and he took your bitch, and now it's like, you feel me? But you don't get that anymore. You don't get the fair one, because this is colonization, bro. This is how this works. You take as many as possible and you go and ravish the land. Ain't no one-on-one fights. Ain't no one-on-one fights, bro. So when you are in a space where you like 100 motherfuckers can beat a gorilla, it's deeper than that. It's just in the mentality of what you already feel, you already built with. But this shit longer than a motherfucker, so I'm gonna go into there, and it's about to rain, so I ain't never revealed this to y'all, but whenever it rains, I get sleepy. I don't know why. I don't know how connected I am to nature or whatever, but I get sleepy when it rains. And I'm no longer functional. I'm about to take a nap, now it's about to rain. It's just happening. I feel my body getting tired. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead into there. Go kiss your babies. Make sure they eat their vegetables. And our sons, since this is so frail conversation, if they feel like they just talk to them. See if they feel like they can take, if you got sons and shit, like see if they could, if 100 of them, if they believe that 100 men could take a gorilla. And then listen to some of the other dynamics that I mentioned and see how they think. If you don't finish the education system, if you don't go through the education system, if you don't live in this world the right way, and you're not a white supremacist when you come out, then shit worked. It didn't work how it was supposed to work. But it's supposed to work. You're supposed to feel like this. You're supposed to believe that you can conquer anything. You're supposed to believe that with a team, you can go in and do whatever you want to do and ravish some shit that is naturally built for something. But as far as our sons, make sure we're not killing their morale. Make sure that we're not, because we all birth warriors. If you got a son who's going through school right now and, you know what I'm saying, they star athlete, that's your warrior. That's your warrior. They about to take him off the front line and give him a contract. That's your warrior. They know how to do this shit. You feel me? Make sure his morale ain't gone. I'm not telling you to go send your son to the war that we in, that we got to get out of from a prisoner of war perspective. But just understand that we're behind enemy lines. The colonization was the war that we were in, and now we make sure, see if they think like white people, bro. You don't want your son thinking like a Caucasian. Cause that's how he end up shooting niggas. That's how niggas end up getting drilled. You feel me? That's how niggas get slid on. You feel me? All of these ideologies and terminologies is like, imagine there was a time when KKK would just pull up and burn a cross in front of your house. You feel me? Now niggas is pulling up to niggas' houses and shit, running fades and fighting people and running inside houses and shit, doing exactly what the KKK did to black people at one point in time. Coincidence? I think not. I think it's definitely tied to 100 motherfuckers thinking they could beat a fucking gorilla, though. Because it's a mentality that Caucasians have infused within our culture now. Because we integrated. This is Martin Burn the house. But, like I said, this shit longer than a motherfucker. I'm sleepy and I'm hungry and I'm about to take a nap. So, go kiss your babies. Make sure they eat their vegetables. And I'm going to see y'all all on the next one. Peace, love, knowledge, and freedom. I'm out.